It wasn't just any laugh. It was the kind of laugh that echoes, sharp and unexpected, across a quiet studio. The kind that makes people shift in their seats. The kind that leaves a sting. And JonathanRoumie.com, eyes steady, didn't flinch. He looked right at her. At Oprah, America's queen of talk. A woman who had seen it all, heard it all, asked it all. And yet at that moment, she wasn't asking, she was challenging, mocking, and no one in that audience knew what was coming next. Because what Jonathan said, it silenced a room, and it changed everything. Let me take you back. It was supposed to be a casual interview. Promotion for a new season of The Chosen. The world was falling in love with Jonathan Roumie, the actor portraying Jesus with a sincerity that felt ... holy. There were headlines, fan clubs, pilgrimages to filming locations. Oprah had called him the surprise spiritual phenomenon of the decade. So she invited him. The room was perfect, soft lighting, elegant chairs, floral arrangements like whispers of wealth. But underneath, there was tension, something unsaid. I wanted to start, Oprah said, smiling, by asking what it's like to play that role. Jonathan smiled back. I try not to play him, he said gently. I try to follow him. Oprah raised a brow. And what does that mean? She asked, tilting her head. It means I pray before I work. I ask for help. It means I try to live like I believe what I'm saying. There was a pause. The audience was listening. Oprah ... was measuring. You really believe it? She said, voice soft, almost amused. You believe Jesus is the way, the truth, the life? I do, Oprah chuckled. Even when people around the world follow different paths. Jonathan nodded. I think God meets us where we are, but yes, I believe what he said. And then, she said it, that line, the one that made producers' hands freeze above soundboards, the one that turned applause into silence. She leaned forward, smiled just enough to hide the sting, and said, but don't you think that's a little arrogant? The words hovered in the air. No music, no laughter, just tension. Jonathan inhaled slowly, thoughtfully, and then he spoke. If I believed it was my truth, maybe, but I don't. I didn't write the words, I didn't claim the crown. I just believe him. There was a flicker in Oprah's eyes, a flicker of challenge or curiosity, maybe both. And that doesn't feel exclusive to you, she pressed. Truth is exclusive by nature, he replied. Two things can't both be completely true if they completely disagree. Now the air was electric. You could hear a pin drop. People watching from home would later say it was the first time they'd ever seen Oprah blink and pause. Just pause, she shifted. What about love? She asked suddenly. Where's the love in telling people they're wrong? Jonathan leaned in. There's no love in lying to someone, he said. There's only love in speaking truth, gently, humbly, and with tears, if needed. The silence grew heavier. A producer's hand hovered over a cut button, but Oprah stayed in it. And what if you're wrong? Jonathan looked down. I ask myself that every day, he said, but every time I look at his words, at the way he lived, the way he died, and what happened after, I can't walk away. Then came a voice from the audience. A woman, older, African-American, her voice soft but trembling. Can I say something? Oprah hesitated, but nodded. I lost my son last year, the woman said, to fentanyl. He was 21. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't live. But then I watched The Chosen. I heard Jonathan talk about Jesus and I fell on my knees, and I felt peace. Her voice cracked. I don't know all the theology, but I know I ain't felt that peace since I was a child. Tears welled in Jonathan's eyes. Even Oprah's hand moved subtly to her chest. The woman continued. I ain't here to argue doctrine. I just came to say, don't mock what brings someone back from the dead. And that was it. That moment unraveled everything. The laughter gone, the mockery dissolved to tension, replaced with something sacred. Oprah leaned back, quiet. She wasn't smiling now. She was thinking. And then she said something few expected. You know, I spent years searching all around the world. I've sat in temples, prayed in churches, climbed mountains with monks, but I've never heard someone say it quite like you. Jonathan didn't speak, he just listened. I think maybe, Oprah said slowly, the world's gotten so loud, we forgot what it feels like to really believe something. He nodded. And maybe, he said, we forgot what it means to love someone enough to still say it out loud. A long pause followed. No applause, no clapping, just silence. Holy silence. Later in the green room, Oprah walked in. Alone, no assistants, no cameras. She looked tired, but different. She sat across from Jonathan, reached into her pocket, and pulled out a small cross, gold-worn. My grandmother gave this to me when I was 9, she said. I used to wear it under my school blouse. She stared at it for a long time. I stopped wearing it after college. She whispered. Why? Jonathan asked. Because it started feeling like a fairy tale. He nodded. Didn't push, Oprah exhaled, but listening to you. I remembered the feeling I had when I used to talk to him in secret at night. When I was scared, Jonathan said nothing, but his eyes glistened. I don't know what I believe, Oprah said, voice shaking. But I know, ... something moved in that room today. He smiled. That's him, he said. He still moves. She didn't respond, but she didn't deny it either. That night, the interview aired, uncut, unedited. against advice from several executives. It went viral in minutes. Clips flooded YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Jonathan Roumie silences Oprah with grace. Oprah mocked his faith, but his response changed her. Faith meets fire and walks away stronger. People debated, commented, argued, but thousands shared their stories. I haven't prayed in years, but this made me fall to my knees. I used to laugh at Christians. I won't anymore. I saw Jesus in an actor's eyes. Jonathan didn't go on a press tour after that, didn't tweet much, just posted a single line. Bless those who curse you, love those who mock you. No hashtags, no explanations, just that. Months later, Oprah launched a new series, a quieter, more personal one. The first episode, titled When I Remembered Jesus, and her guest, Jonathan Roumie. She didn't interrupt, didn't challenge, she listened. And at the end she asked him, "Do you ever get tired of being mocked?" He smiled. "Only when I forget what he endured for me." She was quiet a long time, and then whispered, almost to herself, "Maybe we all forgot." The screen faded to black, but the echo remained. Not of laughter, but of truth, and for millions, it was the beginning of something they thought they'd lost: faith, hope, and the courage to believe again.